Let's talk about this today. Is this a Groovebox? Let's do a jam first and chat about it after. I got into Modular kind of by accident, probably like most of you. I was planning on keeping the microfreak that I had, adding an OCOS to dip into Modular, then adding a circuit tracks as a sequencer, Groovebox, effects unit, mixer, just to bring it together in 3 parts. I had been playing with VCV Rack, watching Omri Cohen videos and making generative patches, and I just really wanted to check out some hardware and get into some actual patching. I got the OCOS first, it was available nearby at a good price, so I picked that up, and then I quickly ditched my plans, sold my microfreak to buy more modules, and I never did get a circuit tracks. What was the tracks anyway? So the circuit tracks is a Groovebox, and it has a lot going for it, like the ease of building and saving sequences, a really sweet song mode, sample playing, and a synthesis engine with macro controls, effects, mixing of external sources, and battery power, all in one package. Sounds great. So why did I not get one? Something that appealed to me about the OCOS and modular synthesis was just the idea of playing with those building blocks of creating sounds. So more on the side of understanding synthesis a little bit better. I got thinking about how modular might integrate with creating melodies and rhythms, and I was really excited about that as well. After playing around with it more on VCV Rack, I was sold. It was just the way that I was gonna go. Just so many possibilities and not just key combinations that I had to remember. Not that key combinations are bad, I just have a hard time remembering too many of them all at one time. Thinking about Grooveboxes, everyone's expectations and needs are really different. That's why there's so many diehard loyalties to MPCs, circuits, Electron or roll-in boxes. And I'm no pro, especially about sample players and Grooveboxes, but here's what I was looking for when I was looking at the tracks. Being able to have a synth line, a bass line, and drums, and the ability to sequence them all. The ability to turn knobs and have things change, and effects in the box would be sweet. Affordability, and of course it's gotta be fun. That's why I'm doing any of this. So based on my wants, is that case a Groovebox? Well, in this case, I have 2 oscillators, the Bostel Pizza and ALM MCO. They can function as a bass or a synth, mono synths at that. I can do drums by way of samples using the Scorp Rample. Sequencing, I can do that too. Right now I have the Intellijel Steppy for step sequencing, and I have the Shackmat Night Scallop for Euclidean stuff. And then I have the Crazy Chicken 6 Eyes for pitch sequencing. There's about 1 million options when it comes to sequencing in eurorack, so you can really just swap things out when they don't work for you and see what you find. I continue to play with this element though almost every patch because it's just so flexible and fun to do so. And back to my list. Can I turn knobs and have the flexibility of sounds and what's happening? Yep, for sure. The oscillators are quite flexible. Combine those with filters and some effects and you've got a lot of range. And then there's also the Shackmat Bard Quartet, a quad quantizer. That's in pretty much all my patches, and it's really great for just playing around with melody stuff and making anything a sequencer. Effects, I've got the Endorphins Ghost in the case, and that covers off most of what I would want for effects. So, is it a Groovebox? I think so. A modular one though. It has some differences by way of being eurorack. And here's the first one, affordability. It's not. There's no contest. I was looking at the circuit tracks initially because it was less expensive than something like a Digitact. Funny, right? Modular is way more expensive. Just the case and power that I have here, the Intellijel 4u104 performance case, that costs just a little bit less than the circuit tracks. In fact, I think you can get a circuit tracks used for about $300 Canadian. That's way less than that case. The Endorphins Ghost that I have in the case, yeah, that's more than the circuit tracks alone. This will land with everyone a little bit different. If you have deep pockets or you're not scared of credit card debt at all, no problem. For the record, I'm very scared of credit card debt and I do not have big pockets. So how did it work for me? I initially sold some music gear and a fixed gear bike, which I still miss actually. Other than that, this has been built up by a fixed monthly budget and birthday money over a couple of years. So maybe if you're patient, that's the other way to make modular work for you. But yeah, affordable, it just isn't. A brief aside about the expensiveness of modular. It makes sense that modular is expensive. I wouldn't want it any other way. I think it's a wonderful marvel having all of these modules from different places all over the world in one case. The collective amount of painstaking work behind one assembled case is wild. All those people should be paid for their work. If you make modules, thank you. Do I regret my decision of going modular, even though it's really expensive? Never. It's way more fun for me and my brain, which was one of the main things on my list. An additional thing to touch on right here is the advantages of a modular Groovebox. Customizability. I'm not saying that Grooveboxes or the circuit tracks isn't flexible. Of course they are, because you can use different external synths, you can change the internal engines, all sorts of stuff. I get it. But for modular, it's a little bit of a given. I can change the building blocks out as I want to explore something different. The oscillators, a filter, a mixer, the effects, making it a drone synth, East Coast, West Coast, a drum machine, a poly synth. It's all in how you build it out and patch it up. I'd say your only limitation is your imagination and, well, money and, well, the space that you have in your case. For the record, I'd say that the 4u104 case is a really good size to have a Groovebox. Smaller than that, you might be sacrificing a little bit of the knobby turning and the control that you really want to get to, or maybe you'd be having one less voice or less drums or whatever. Also, This is a Groovebox for me, based off of what I wanted in a circuit tracks. So this could be anything, really. Is it a Groovebox? I'd say so. But does it really matter? Not really. What does matter is that it's really fun and makes the sounds that I want it to. In the next couple videos, I'm gonna spend some time building up this case in a couple different ways, and I'll just talk about the modules and thoughts behind the different combinations that I use. I also hope to finish off this 1U row at some point, so if you have any thoughts on what should go in that blank space, please let me know. If this has been helpful or interesting, please like and subscribe, and I'll get to working on some more videos. Cheers.